up, everybody? This is Jose from Florida Hublogs. We're in my hometown, Naples, Florida. I've seen a lot of license plates from California. Now, this YouTuber that I watch called Charlie Boo, he just went to California, and I couldn't believe every single business was boarded up on their main strip. So it's nice that here businesses are not boarded up. There's no fear of looting. I have a beach parking permit because I'm a Collier County resident. Therefore, there's no concerns with parking. I can park. This car here is from Connecticut. We have people from a lot of other states coming down here to Florida right now. Pick me up at the pier in a little bit. You can stay parked where you're at there. If somebody bothers you, then you can drive over. Just get in the driver's seat, and if somebody bothers you, then you can just pull out and leave.
Stickers. Okay.
I'm gonna walk to the pier, okay? We're on 5th Avenue, and we're walking south along the beach here in Naples. Turtles come right up to here and lay their eggs on the beach. Not too many people, just enjoying a nice little walk along the beach. Not many people out here. That's awesome. Up ahead is the Naples Pier. Like the residents, there's not that many people here. The residents here are kind of just hoping that everything here is calm. Everything here is for the most part calm. Beautiful cottages will set you back somewhere around $7 million here in Naples. We're gonna walk around the pier. It's actually closed right now. You know, the cops can't really go into gated communities, so poor people live in ungated communities when we're not imprisoned. The Naples Pier, this is how I remember when I was a little kid. Just small groups of people, the occasional tourists. But over the last, I don't know, so many years, Naples has just become a massively overpopulated place. You know, it was a fun place to grow up here. I grew up here and just had an awesome time growing up here. But as more and more tourists came and you know, these beaches got crowded, it just wasn't the same fun place it used to be. This is how I remember Naples, like this. Just when there weren't massive crowds, when you can get a parking spot, and where there weren't people elbow to elbow. This is the Naples that I remember. The Naples that I grew up in. This is it. Like this. If we could go back to this, I would never leave this town or want to leave this town. Have a lot of people who don't even live in this county, yet they end up getting arrested here on some type of out-of-town crime, and it's a normal thing. It's actually quite common for people from other counties to venture into this county for crimes. Something about how this is a small little town and all that. Criminals think that they can really get away with more here than what they can in other places. So it seems like you have a lot of criminals from Broward County, Lee County, and Dade County that end up coming over here. For some reason, they feel that they're more likely to get away with crime here. So people who are running credit card frauds, all types of schemes. I think there's a couple recently arrested out of Jamaica. So they bring these scams over here, being that there's less crime. It's easier for them to blend in and get away with their crimes. So they think, because the sheriff's office has arrested a lot of people in this county who don't even live here. So it seems like a trend. Hours in Naples now are dawn till dusk, so you can be here in the daytime. You cannot be here. They have limited hours, so there's no weekends and holidays in the morning, and there's no coolers or tents, and no dogs allowed on the beach. So we've pretty much seen all these violations today. And they don't want dogs on the beach. Of course, we've seen dogs on the beach, so that's kind of a violation. But here's the thing, guys, and here's where things kind of get nasty. The sign says no coolers. There's coolers on the beach. The sign says no dogs. We've seen dogs on the beach. That police are reluctant to come after wealthy people. Hurricanes are not as big of a deal as people put them out to be. The media blows hurricanes out of proportion, and now people are terrified of Florida because of hurricanes. When I ask people, oh, what are your biggest fears of moving to Florida? The first thing they say is hurricanes. And I'm like, what? Hurricanes are your biggest fear about moving to Florida? That should not be your biggest fear about moving to Florida. Realtors and the media portray things in a way that they're not because they're making money off of it. So just like they blow hurricanes out of proportion, just like they blow COVID out of proportion, just like they're blowing the current situation out of proportion, because that's the only way. When do you watch the Weather Channel? When there's a hurricane. Do you watch the Weather Channel when it's nice and beautiful outside? Of course you don't. The only time you watch the Weather Channel for 14 hours a day is when there's a hurricane coming at you. And that's exactly the problem with the media, that they have to get your attention somehow. Maybe a riot, a protest, maybe a hurricane, maybe a pandemic, whatever they can blow up to get your attention, they are going to do it. So this is why you need to use a little bit of common sense and say, okay, there is a pandemic. What is a reasonable precaution I should take? Avoid crowded places. Have a 2-week supply of food in case the store's closed. I see people in Naples wearing masks inside of their own houses. And I'm just like, oh, you're wearing a mask inside your own house. You're not supposed to have dogs on the beach. There's dogs on the beach. Are they going to enforce that? Absolutely not. Why? Because this is a wealthy area and these are rich people, and the police doesn't bother rich people. One, because 95% of rich people live in gated communities where you can't bother them even if you wanted to. If I'm hanging out outside of a corner store, the police can come and bother me and say, hey, you're hanging out in front of a corner store. You're in a public place. You're loitering. There's nothing but hate. You also have to understand how social economics work. And this is more of a social economics situation. I love social studies. I love social economics. Those are things that I am into personally. It just fascinates me to understand how people are. I wish I could have, if I could go back and study anything I wanted, I'd probably want to be a psychologist. Stay out of it. Don't go to no protests. Stay home. Don't watch CNN. Don't watch Fox News. I turn off Facebook. Oh my gosh. Facebook is so toxic. Facebook is so toxic. The only reason I have Facebook is because I share on the groups my videos to try to get some views out of people. But man, Facebook is toxic. So here we have these no parking by order of Naples. Violators will be towed at the owner's expense. So now all over Naples, all of the residential areas have these no parking signs. It's incredible how quickly see, that's the other thing about rich people. Rich people have the ability to respond however they want to handle situations. So here they have these no parking signs, obviously because people are going to the beach in crowds, so they did this so people wouldn't park here. So all over the city of Naples you have these no parking signs. Poor people don't have stuff like that. That's a benefit of wealthy people. Would cost you like $80,000 anywhere else in Florida, North Florida specifically. I bet you this property has to be at least $500,000 because of its location. Natural disaster or a pandemic or whatever you may be dealing with, being wealthy makes that situation a whole lot better for you. And a lot of the problems that we face can just be fixed with money. It's that simple. Money just fixes problems. That's what it's for. It protects you. I just think people have kind of blown things out of proportion for the most part. You know, if I'm living here in these neighborhoods and I have money and my schedule revolves around Starbucks, beach, nail salon, yoga classes, or whatever people, I don't know what people do for a living who have money.
I'm so confused on the nail salon.
I don't know what rich people do. Whatever, you know, go to the gym. That's not what poor people do. Poor people go to work, and from work they go home and they go hang out outside the gas station because that's all there is within the realm of their world. So poor people are by nature more vulnerable to all types of legal harassment from You think the police is gonna come bother one of these rich people here? They can't. They have lawyers. They're protected. I've had Jaguars. I've had Mercedes Benzes. When you are driving a normal car, the cops don't even look at you. When you're driving around in clunkers, the cops get behind you and make sure your tags are up to date. So if you're poor, you're going to be discriminated. Look at my comments on my channels. How many people come? I'm making a big deal out of this on purpose, guys. My teeth are in really bad shape. My teeth are horrible. I can't afford a dentist. My dentist drives a Bentley. The dentist that I use drives a Bentley. I drive a 2004 work truck. I can't afford a dentist because my dentist wants to drive around in a Bentley. And that's not his only car. He's got several other luxury cars. I can't afford a dentist because I'm poor. So when you see me on the street and you see my ugly teeth, what do you think? Automatically, people say all types of negative things. I worked in Miami driving around in this Jaguar, and everywhere I went, I got the special treatment. I've never in my life, it opened up my eyes. You don't know this. If you've been rich your whole life, you don't know this. If you've been poor your whole life, you don't know what it's like to be rich. If you're poor, you don't know the benefits of being rich. And if you're rich, you don't know the hardships of being poor. I drove around Miami in a Jaguar. People, oh, you're the owner of the company? No, I'm an employee. What's your problem? Oh, I noticed you have a Jaguar. So what if I have a Jaguar? I'm an employee. Oh, I thought you were the owner. I'm not the owner. Are you the owner's son? No, I'm not the owner's son. I'm a dang employee. But that's what you deal with when you're poor. You get the opposite. Because people are judgmental. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, doesn't matter what you are. If you're black, you got it hard. You got it really hard if you're black. If you're Latino, you got it hard. If you're white and you're a redneck, missing teeth, driving an old truck, you got it hard too. But if you're driving around in a Bentley and a dentist fix your teeth, and a nail salon fix your nails, and a hair salon fix your hair, and your wife got her boobs bigger because you can afford it, when you pull up in a Mercedes Benz, oh, are you the owner of the company? Welcome to our business, sir. How are you? Let me kiss your butt. Because that's the way people are. People are judgmental. Doesn't matter what country you're in, where you live. This guy right here driving this fancy, whatever the crap he's driving, he gets treated much better than I will. Wherever restaurant he walks into, there's another one. And I'm glad they have it. Everybody should have it if they can. You think the guy that pulls up in a Ferrari is going to get treated the same way as the guy that pulls up in the work truck? Of course not. Everybody's judgmental. And you know the only way to change it is to work hard, make some money so that you can change the way you appear. And that's if you care. Friends that they're well off and you would never tell that they're well off because they like being confused. They're down to earth. To come here and bust these rich people's businesses, you got to be out of your mind. Go over there and bust a gas station in the hood and nothing happens. Come over here and bust one of these rich people's windows, see what's going to happen to you. Why isn't there any buildings broken into here? Because they're rich. They got cameras and they got a police force. You break these windows here, they're going to put videos out and they're going to catch you. Stop letting the media tell you what to think. They don't really care what you think. The only thing they care about is what you watch. And they want you to watch them. Turn off the TV, turn off the news, turn off Facebook. The only reason I'm on Facebook is because I have to be, so I can, what's the word I'm looking for? So I can troll people, yeah. I'm gonna troll you guys. Network, Katie says, see that's the difference between rich people and poor people. Katie said network, I said troll.
He is a troll.
That's the difference between rich people and poor people. Katie said network, I said troll. Oh, you guys crack me up, y'all, for real. If a rich person was poor, they'd be working 80 hours a week to get rich again. If a poor person is poor, they have all the time in the world. They can be out, they can hang out by the corner store all day. They got all the time in the world. If you grab these rich people in Naples and you took away their money, they'd be working 80 hours a week to get their money back. so they can live like decent human beings again. They'd figure a way to get their money back. I guarantee you grab these rich people and you take their money away, and a massive percentage of them, look at this little house. The more desperate your situation is, the harder you have to try. The more you're discriminated, the harder you gotta work. The more you gotta save. The less stupid decisions you have to take. Because if on top of the discrimination against you, on top of that, you're also gonna be stupid, you're never gonna get ahead in life. This is a nice pizza place. It's called Naples On the Bay, but we're not gonna eat there today. I have to wear anything fancy. You know what matters? What matters?
Love.
You know what matters? How long we've been together?
And married 11.
Married 11 years. I can't say peacefully married 11 years, but
It has been pretty decent.
it has been pretty peaceful for you. Because you've been at home sleeping while I'm out working. Think about poor people. Poor people are so stupid with their money. Oh, it's our anniversary. We're gonna go out and have an expensive meal. That's stupid poor people thinking right there. That's a stupid type of thing poor people do. It's our anniversary, so let's go eat at a fancy place. That's stupid people mentality. If you're poor, it doesn't matter if it's your anniversary. Eat some Burger King.